So stop guessing the bias on the day and actually start by doing top-down analysis and learning how to doing it properly. Now, my name is Alex, and I'm going to go through a lot of different trade basics in this series. And today we're actually going to talk about one of my favorite things to do, and that is top-down analysis. So you're going to learn how I do top-down analysis and get the basic understanding so you can implement it in your trading too. So see you in a minute. Brilliant. So I've got a euro pound chart. And when you're doing top-down analysis, I always want to start from the highest time frame possible. It doesn't matter if you're an intraday trader, it doesn't matter if you're, scalping, you're swing trading, position trading, obviously, but everything. It's good to start with the overall map of what the market is doing on a bigger time scale, and then slowly coming in to your desired time frame where you want to actually make your trading decisions. So we're going to start from a monthly chart here. And to be honest, in currencies, they range. They're not going 10, 15% on the day like equities or like crypto. They tend to range quite often. And those are really good if like certain types of trades like mean reversion trades or anything like that. So it's understanding first of all, the asset that you're trading and understanding that in currencies, you're mostly going to range. So what I'm looking for on the monthly is just to mark out really where are my pivot lows, my pivot highs, and where is my resistance, so on and so forth. Now, one of the most important things in trading, and this is my opinion, but it is definitely market structure. Market structure shows you where the market is going. If it's trending, if it's ranging, if it's going up, if it's going down, higher highs, higher lows for a trending up market, and the opposite for a trending down. It's really important for you to understand that before you actually get into your trade. So on Euro Pound, you can see we've got this massive range. This is just a huge range. So if we pull in some lines here and just mark out 80% of what, these deviations here are not important. I want to know where the most price action has happened, and it's in this area. Now, we've been in this range since 2017. Okay. So me understanding that every time that we've come down to these areas, we have come back in and gone to the opposite direction. So that is very important for me when I'm looking at price action down here to understand what is the likelihood now that price is broken this bottom of this range, retest, and then continuation downwards. The probability is quite low. Okay. So me looking at a monthly area, we've seen that deviation, and now we've come back into the range, and now we're trading back into the range. Now, my bias overall is possibly that now we've come into the middle of the range. Possibly we're going to come in to fill in this wick, so then maybe come to the top of this range. Now, this is a monthly time frame. It takes a long time to actually happen, but you just having the understanding of where we're actually sitting will help you come up maybe on the bias in the future. So now we're going to go down to the weekly and see where we are. We're on the monthly. We've just come and broken out of a deviation back into the range. I'm bullish. I think we're going to fill in that wick on the monthly, and we're going to come back into the center point of the range. Now, what I'm going to do, which I didn't do before, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to mark the center point out of this range. Now, you can do it off your eye, or you can get a fib level from the top to the bottom, and there you would see my 50 area is right here. So that's the 50 area. So that's the 50% of this range. So if we go down now onto the weekly, where are my pivots? What is price doing right now? Now, we had that deviation. We had a break within the range, a retest on the bottom, and then the continuation. What have we had here? We've now had a break in the price structure, okay? Now, whenever we have a break of a level, that is confirmation, to me anyway, that price has had an acceptance above or below the level, depending on what we're looking at. Price buyers have come in, overtaken the market, and we've had acceptance above this level. So for me, anything below that level is a good area to buy. Now, you can have a look from where we are here. You've got a really nice trend line where price has stayed with lower highs and lower lows. We've had a breakup above these highs, above the trend line, and now we're coming back in to actually hit the trend line again, and it is within that level as well. So for me, on the weekly, I'm on buy mode. Okay, we've had the break of the level, we've had a retracement onto the level, and now we're looking for that continuation, and this is on a weekly time frame. Okay, next I'm going to go down to a daily and see what the daily is saying. So this impulsive candle, this is the origin of this move. So unless price breaks down under this level, under this pivot, this is still bullish momentum, in my opinion. Okay, so anything within here, I want to be longing. Now, the issues with longing, you can long in areas like this, which I have been doing. There needs to be valid support for you to do that on the lower time frames. If you've got valid support, like you had this area of demand, great. You can get those. But when we're actually looking at the macro, we want to see where really is the support of this time frame on this particular move. And it came into that area of support. If I put a fib on, and if you don't know what fibs are, we will go in those in later sessions. What I can see here, this has come into a 72 fib, around about that area, and it's found support. So for me, I'm bullish. Okay, we've broken up these highs. We've made a higher high and acceptance in a higher high. And until we come down and do something like that, I am still on buy mode for this particular asset. Now I'm going to come down to the 4 hour. And what do I see here? Okay, I see, first of all, the market has come down underneath our level of support. We've tried to break down. We haven't continued. So it took out these highs. We haven't continued down. We've then pushed, taken out all of these lows, but there was no continuation. So we came in, took out all of these lows. If price was going to go down, it would have broken, retested, and continued, but it hasn't. It's found support. And for a lot of people that if you're new to trading and you've learned what a head and shoulders is, this is a reverse head and shoulders. Head and shoulders, for instance, okay, that is a head and shoulders pattern. What that would be is the head, the shoulder, and the shoulder. So what that means, we've broken, we've had a high, we've had a higher low, continuation. Then we go to continue to break up above this high, but we couldn't find any more buyers in these areas. And that's when price pushes down. Now this, if we turn it around, that is the reverse head and shoulders. Same type of thing, but it's just reversed. So that's what we've got here. We've got a shoulder, a head, and another shoulder. And now we've had a breakout above this area. Now for me, looking at this prior, I've been trading this area. And the reason why I've been trading this area is because I saw that we've had a shoulder. We've had an attempt to break the lows, which was short-lived, even after quite an impulsive move, to then price, even after that impulsive move, stay within this range, and then continue. That's why I've been looking for longs in this area. So now on the 4 hour, in my opinion, we are long right now. And the reason why we're long right now is because we've tried to break down, we couldn't, and now we've had acceptance above these areas right here. So me as a trader on the 4 hour, I'm long. So you've got monthly long, you've got weekly long, and a daily long. Everything is basically long when it comes to euro pound right now. So the next time frame that I'm going to go to is just the 1 hour time frame, and this is where I'm going to look for my entries. Now, we're not going to go into entries right now, but if I've got my weekly, monthly, daily, and 4 hour all bullish, then I want to be going with the momentum of the overall trend. Now we're going to pop into some real trades, and I'll show you what I've been trading today so you can get an understanding, and then we'll close off this session. So give me 2 seconds. So here we go. I've pulled up now the charting software, my terminal, and we're just going to go onto the 15-minute. First, we'll go on to the 4 hour just so you remember what we talked about, okay? So we talked about this head and shoulders pattern. We've had a break, and now all I was looking for was the longs on this particular area. Now, it's a shame I can't pull it in too much, but you see now the breaking it down from high level to lower level to lower level. Then when you get onto the 15 minutes and hourlies, then you know what to do. And you can see we had the breakout, we had the retest on the level, and then the continuation to come out into this area of supply right here. Now, I'm not sure what's going on my screen, so I'll turn it back to TradingView. But that is it. I hope you've taken a couple of those bits. This is, again, a series that is just going to go through some of the very, very basic things and the things that you need to take into account before you enter into the market, okay? If you come into the market and you just look at the one time frame, you don't know what the overall market is telling you, then you're kind of going into the market with one eye closed, and anything can happen. But the overall momentum is going to follow from the higher time frames into the lower time frames as a whole, because the higher time frame that you're looking at, the more traders see what's going on those higher time frames. So that is it. So I hope you enjoyed those. Go into the next videos where you'll be able to learn more if we're going to talk about levels, entry systems, risk management, and so much more. See you in a bit.